Welcome back, crewmates, to the Neko Space Agency, and happy Paddy's Day! Lá féile fádric sonna dia. As many of you know, I am actually Irish, and today is the day that there are many Americans out there claiming to have Irish heritage, and there are people out there drinking till the cows come home. But all joking aside, today is a day to be celebrating Irish culture and heritage, and we're just gonna ignore the part of, Christians abolishing paganism in Ireland and the whole harmful stereotype that is the drunk Irish. Despite all of that, today is a day about having a bit of crack and celebrating being Irish. Now, hold on. You're probably like, Opal, what? What the hell is crack? Do Irish people have like a drug problem or something? Should I be worried? No. Don't even worry about it. Let me teach you the wonderful, wonderful world that is Irish slang. Now, most people know that Irish people, their first language is English. But a lot of people never know what we're talking about because there are so many different slang words and phrases in the Irish English language that actually come from the way that Irish people used to say things oscuelga or in Irish. This combination of Irish English speaking is known as Hiberno English, and we have many terms of phrases in Hiberno English that people who speak English from other countries are like, what the hell are these Irish people talking about? And different parts of the country actually have different phrases and words for different actions and objects and things, so I'm going to look at some phrases from across the country and teach them to you. So let's head back to what I was talking about earlier. What is the crack? Well, crack literally means having fun or having a good time. So when somebody asks you, well, what's the crack? They're actually asking you, how's it going? What are you doing? What's going on? How or have things been? Basically, is there anything good happening? Other terms of phrases for the crack is like, sure, it'll be a bit of crack. Means it'll be a bit of fun and having a little bit of fun. It's basically having a good time, having some crack. Another term of phrase that we have is acting the maggot. Sure, he does be acting the maggot, that one. Basically means acting a fool. Someone's doing something a bit stupid or they're messing around, they're acting a maggot. For example, chat kept bonking Opal during stream and they were acting the maggot. They need some cop on. Oh, now, there's another Irish slang word for you. Cop on. It basically means to get some common sense. And now if somebody doesn't have any cop on, you may call him a bit of an idiot. Now, an idiot basically means he's a fool, he's a bit of an idiot. Kind of sounds similar to idiot. Stop being an idiot and stop bonking Opal in stream. Another classic Irish slang word is banjaxed, which basically means it's absolutely broken. There's no fixing it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just gone. For an example, I think I ran over a nail with my car and sure as my tire now banjaxed. There's nothing you can do. Can't fix it. Gotta replace the entire thing. Another slang word you might hear me say fairly often is it's grand, or sure it'll be grand. Grand basically means fine, alright, it's okay. But like, not in a negative way, kind of like, you're middling, you're doing okay, but it's alright, it's fine, we're all good. It's like, not amazing, but it's grand. So normally somebody will ask you, well, how are you? And you'd respond with, sure, I'm grand. Which basically just means I'm doing okay, I'm doing alright. Now, speaking of someone asking you how you are, Irish people have a load of ways of asking you how you're doing. For example, as we had earlier, what's the crack? Any fun going around? Just a simple how are you? How's it going? Another one you might get is how's she cutting? Now, not sure where the etymology of that came from. It might be something to do with farming, like cutting the fields, cutting up crops, I don't know, I'm not sure. One that's quite common from the area I'm from is starry horse. Another way of asking how somebody is asking them how's the form. Basically, many ways of asking somebody how they're doing. And if you want to give them a response to tell them that, oh, you're just having the best of time, things are going so well, you have to say the crack is 90. Absolutely highest level of crack going on. Basically, you're having the best of time, so much fun that there's 90 of the fun. The crack is 90. And sure, when you run into someone on your way down to the shop and they ask you, well, what's the crack? Well, sometimes you tend to end up in that dreaded situation of having the small talk with someone you just barely know, and you go, well, what are we going to talk about? What can you talk about with this person that you happen to be polite and ask them how they're doing, and you have to continue this conversation? Well, now Ireland's known for its rain. It's very rainy here. It's quite wet very often. And sure, of course, Irish people are obsessed about talking about the weather. So, of course, we have a ton of ways to say that it's raining. There are so many ways to say it's raining. For example, if you have a light rain, it's barely noticeable. It might clear up. You would say it's only spitting. It's just spitting, that's all. It's spitting outside, it's fine. Now let's take it to a little bit more of a light rain. You might want to have an umbrella. You would say it's wetting rain outside. Or if you had a rain that was a little bit more heavier, enough that you'd be getting absolutely drenched as you're walking around outside, well then you'd say it's pouring outside, or it's pissing rain. You're getting absolutely drowned outside. It's very wet. But let's say that it's just raining. It's raining non-stop. It's very heavy rain, and the umbrella's just about keeping you from getting drenched. You would say it's bucketing down outside. Oh my god, it's way too wet out there. It's bucketing down. Now, do you ever have those days where you're out in the rain and it's very windy and the rain's pelting down, but the rain droplets are very small and they feel like tiny little needles stabbing you as they fall on top of you? Now, that's what you would say. It's pelting rain. Pelting down on you. And for the heaviest the rain falls, where you've just abandoned the umbrella and the wind's blowing and getting absolutely sodden wet outside, you would say it's hammering down, or it's lashing out. It's the lashings of rain. You're drenched, you go home, you just want to sit down, put your feet up, and you're absolutely knackered. Now, what is that, you say? You've been trapped in the rain all day, you might be feeling a bit knackered afterwards. You're exhausted. You're very tired. That's what knackered means. For example, I was up editing all last night and now I'm completely knackered. You could also say I'm shattered, like a piece of glass. Absolutely shattered. Another common Irish slang word would be, you don't say you're going over to your friend's house. Say you're having a nice night out, or maybe a nice night in with some friends. You don't say you're going over to their house. You say, I'm going to my friend's gaff. And maybe you've only been to this friend's house. This might be your first time visiting their gaff, and you don't know where their bathrooms are. So you may ask them, where's the jacks? And now, since it is Paddy's Day, and we probably will be enjoying a little bit of drinking today, I'll teach you some of the many phrases we have for going out drinking or being drunk. There are many phrases. Now, if you want to talk about going out drinking, you could say, I'm going to be going out on the session, or going to be having a sesh for short. And if somebody's going out on the tear, or they're out in the lash, that means they're out on a night drinking. You could have a sesh in somebody's gaff, or you could have a sesh out in the pub. You do whatever you want. Now, say you wanted to say your friend last night was very drunk. You would say he was absolutely scuttered. You could say he was sloshed. Maybe he was a bit hammered, or he was locked. Could say he was langers, he was fluttered, pissed, he He was absolutely blustered, smashed, plastered. Maybe he was a bit gee-eyed. Or basically any variation of a past tense action. For example, demented, goose, pickled, or spanner. Anything you can add an ed to basically could be describing someone being drunk. So now that you guys have a little bit of Irish phrases and slang up your repertoire, I hope you can get some use out of them this Paddy's Day and show everybody out there that you're not a feckin' idiot. I hope everyone has a great Paddy's Day.